No. They went to some of the staff in the back at MV, and a couple of our employees needed an extra pair.
Are we ready? Should we start? You're muted again now. I can't hear anyone there.
You can go ahead and get that meeting started.
Okay, great. Then we call to order the meeting of Commodore Valley Transit Authority Finance and Administration Committee meeting, April 23rd, 2023. This Finance and Administration Committee meeting will be conducted in person and on Zoom. So if we can pledge of allegiance.
That's correct.
Do we usually do a pledge of allegiance at this one?
We will be doing it at all the meetings now.
Okay.
Bringing it back. You're in the wrong spot.
So, all right. Stand for pledge of allegiance. And Melissa, do you want to lead it for us?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. All right, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, Director Hernandez.
Present.
Vice Chair King.
Here.
Chair Testa.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Okay. And then meeting open to the public. Members of the audience may address the committee on any matters with general subject matter jurisdiction of LAVTA Board of Directors. Do we have anyone to?
So we don't have any public attendees that want to speak, and I didn't receive any public comments via email, and there's nobody attending in this Zoom meeting currently in the public.
Okay, thank you. Then we'll move on to 4, and item 4 is the minutes from the March 28th meeting.
I'll move approval.
I'll second.
Okay. Approved and seconded. Can we get a roll call on that?
Yes, Director Hernandez.
Aye.
Vice Chair Kick.
Aye.
Chair Testa.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Motion passes. Item 5, Treasurer's Report.
Okay, presented for you is the treasurer's report for March 2023. As you can see from this report, our cash flow is still doing great. We have plenty of money in the bank. Our expenditures are only at 55.96%. A lot of that has to do with the fact that we have not yet reestablished all the hours that we hope to do when we did the budget. Our paratransit billing is now 2 months behind, so we're improving. Our contractor is now working with the CFO of their subcontractor to hopefully get it correct bills. So while our expenses are at 55.96%, revenues are at 85.1%, which is part of the reason we have such a healthy cash flow. And I'm available for any questions.
All right, any questions?
I don't have any questions.
Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion.
I'll move approval.
I'll second.
All right, and roll call, please.
Director Hernandez.
Aye.
Vice Chair King.
Aye.
Chair Testa.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Motion passes unanimously. Okay, then let's move on to item 6. Design of the Rutan Maintenance Bay Hydrogen Retrofit.
All right, Nate Barreras, our capital projects manager, will take this. You can just sit from casual. This is Nate. Nate will walk you through this.
I was expecting a PowerPoint. It's actually.
Give him a minute.
Sorry to disappoint. So the plan is to get 2 of our bays retrofitted for hydrogen operation for the LN's facility coming into play here, hopefully within the next few years. So in order to anticipate that kind of transition, we like to have these 2 bays ready to go as soon as we procure FCEVs for the fuel addition buses. So with that in mind, we have got Annette Fleming and got a proposal from them in order to go ahead and get ready for the design retrofit of this building. Again, this is just an anticipation, so that way when we do get the buses, we're able to properly do maintenance here at the site while the maintenance facility over at Atlantis is being built.
So some additional ventilation is required because of the hydrogen technology. So we are asking the committee to recommend to the board that we authorize a contract task order with Gannett Fleming to perform the design of the maintenance bay retrofit, again, so that we are ready when we begin to purchase our fuel cell buses in a few years. And we are hopeful we will get money for Atlantis. We just submitted our last grant request, so we should hear in the next few months if we've been successful there.
Okay. So they were the only ones that put in for the bid?
So we have an on-call bench of firms, and they each have ranked. So there's a number of categories that we've evaluated them by, and Gannett Fleming ranked the highest in space planning and design. So this task order was awarded to Gannett Fleming. We have Kimley Horn. They've received multiple task orders. They're doing the design of the Atlantis maintenance facility. And they're also doing some work with the SAV project, Kimley Horn. So we try to share the work amongst our on-call.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? Then can I get a motion for a recommendation to let's see, send this to the LAVTA board meeting directors.
I'll move that recommendation.
And then Hernandez will up there.
All right, and moved and seconded, can we get a roll call?
Yes, Director Hernandez,
Aye.
Vice Chair Kick,
Aye.
Chair Testa.
Aye.
I just want to put on the record that for the last agenda items 4, 5, and 6, there's still nobody in the public to comment.
I apologize. Thank you for that. Okay, so then we're moving on to item 7, Livermore Transit Center Landscape Construction Project.
Thank you. So a while back, we received some federal funding to rehab our transit center. There are a number of projects within this grant. But the first one we're going, well, actually, this is the second one. The first one was the kiosk, that customers can walk up to. It gives them all kinds of information on buses, where they are. They can route plan, they can do all kinds of things on it. This is our second project, and this will be the landscaping construction project. Part of the transit center landscaping was redone when we did the Angie's Way dedication, but just that end. The rest of this landscaping has been there for quite a while, and it needs to come out new. Some of it needs to come out, and new plants and a new irrigation system need to be put in. So we had an architect design what we're going to do out there, and we went out to bid. We sent information out to dozens of landscaping companies within pretty much like Northern California, not super far Northern California, basically District 4 of Caltrans District 4. So, and we received 2 bids. We received a bid from Loza Inc. out of San Lorenzo, and from Moreno Landscape. Their headquarters are in Orange, California. They have their closest office is in Lathrop, California. This was a low bid invitation for bid, so it should be awarded to the lowest bidder. And our low bid is $227,790.
Do we have a native plant climate guide when we do things like this?
We do not.
Is it possible to encourage low water planting?
They are low water.
Okay.
They are,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
the irrigation was taken very heavily into consideration. Into the new project. Same with the one here at LAVTA. The main goal of this was to decrease the water usage. Our water usage at the transit center is not horrendous, but it can always be decreased. So yes, this will be. We also have a few safety issues there with the pine trees, so the pine trees are going to come out.
Okay, any other questions? I have one question. I'm assuming there will be no turf with this plan, right?
Turf, you mean like grass or
Yeah.
like, okay, no grass,
Okay,
no grass. There will be a tan bark type substance in between the plants.
Right.
And no plastic underneath that, because the plastic, and I didn't know this, but I learned this from our architect. The plastic underneath actually destroys the fertility of your ground. So instead, we just get to pull weeds and that sort of thing, not us. The landscaping company.
Let it be one.
That's funny. Well, that's kind of what you wanted to do, though.
Well, you do. You do. You really want, if you never want to plant anything there again, that's exactly what you want to do. Yeah. But someday you may want to plant.
Sequestration purpose.
But I think it depends what you're growing there too.
Yeah. And it also somehow affects the drainage.
Yeah.
So,
That drainage I would get, yeah.
yeah.
All move approval, staff approval?
I'll second.
Okay.
Any members?
Oh, we need roll call, please. Well, actually, I should have asked if there were any public comments, right?
There's still nobody here in the building. Or here in our office. So no post. And for roll call, Director Hernandez,
Aye.
Vice Chair Kit,
Aye.
Chair Testa,
Aye.
motion passes.
Okay, then moving on to item 7, contract award for LAVTA facility janitorial service.
Okay, so this one's a little bit different. We went out for an RFP. In the past, for a janitorial service, we've always gone low bid. And this time we wanted to see what was out there and kind of services we could procure. We of course tell them what we want done in the building, but we wanted to know what their qualifications were, how they were going to take care of this building. It's got to last us a little while longer at least. So we went out for an RFP and we received 4 proposals. We scored these proposals. There was a team of 5 of us on company qualifications and experience, their experience of their key personnel, project understanding and management plan, and the reasonableness of cost. We had 3 very close scores after we read the proposals. So we invited them for an interview, which we did through Zoom. And after the interviews, we asked many questions, analyzed what they had to say, along with what they had written. And after that, the highest scoring firm was Aim to Please out of San Francisco. We are requesting to do this as a 3-year contract with 2 option years, just to decrease some of the burden on staff of having to do this. It's actually a very long process to do it this way, but we wanted to make sure that we were getting quality rather than just low cost. So we are asking for the committee to forward this to the board, recommend approval and forward this to the board.
And Aim to Please is our incumbent contractor. They are currently doing our janitorial work.
So are they in here every day?
No, this building is 3 days a
3
week.
days a week.
Transit center is every day because we have a public restroom there. We have the
Yeah.
driver restroom. So that one's every day of the week. Here in Atlanta, so 3 days a week.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Then-
Nope, I will move staff recommendation.
I'll
okay.
second.
Again, assume there's no one from the public, right?
No, there is not.
Safe assumption. And their name holds up, Aim to Please.
They're
Yes, they do.
also, they're also the contractor who does our bus shelters,
Or what?
our bus shelters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's like a secondary business for them.
All right, so did we get a motion and a second already?
Yes. Yeah,
Roll
let
call.
me do roll call. Director Hernandez,
Aye.
Vice Chair Kit,
Aye.
Chair Testa,
Aye.
motion passes.
Okay, then moving on to item 9. LAVTA's operating and capital budget for 2024.
Okay. So I have for you the FY 2024 operating and capital budgets for LAVTA. I'll start with operating. Our operating budget this year is $24,619,185. And it's an increase of 1.55% over last year's budget. This does have us budgeting pre-COVID levels of service. We're really hoping to achieve that if we can hire the drivers. The cost increase we do have are primarily due to our contract increases for fixed route and paratransit, the annual increases. We were able to completely balance this budget. LAFTA is required to have a balanced budget, but we were able to do it without taking any money from reserves on the operating side. On the capital side, the budget actually went down slightly, but that's because we purchased our buses and that was a big chunk of the last budget. So we still have a lot of projects going on. For the operating budget, the largest line items, the largest of all the line items is purchase transportation, fixed route. And then one of our other large line items is, of course, fuel. So we actually are decreasing what we budgeted fuel compared to last year, not by much. Last year we budgeted $4.50. We're actually at $3.93 average for the fiscal year. So this next year we're budgeting $4.25. However, I always throw in a contingency of $100,000 in case things go awry. So ironically, every year at budget time is when fuel prices start doing weird things. So we always throw in a little extra. Yeah, it's exactly right before summer. And our fixed route budget is going up as expected, but our paratransit budget is going down considerably. And the reason for that is that last year at budget time, we did not have our contract in place. So the director of operations innovation at that time, the amount he budgeted was higher than what the contract actually came in under, since he was being conservative. And our Go Tri-Valley and SAV budget is also decreasing because we do not anticipate any SAV operations next year, whereas this year there was about $500,000 budgeted, but we didn't use it. So which is part of the reason we're way under budget.
If I can just add on to that, we did last year budget, assuming the SAV would be operating. We didn't make that assumption this year. We are seeking grant funding and operating funding to support phase 2. If we are successful there, then we would amend the budget.
If need be,
Yeah.
depending on the amount. Yeah. Sorry, I lost what I was gonna say.
Just finished Go Tri-Valley.
Yeah, no, that's not healthy. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Revenues. On the revenue side, we are receiving some one-time funds from the FTA, ARPA money. We actually received just over 10 million last year, and we split it between last year and this year. So that's helping us to balance the budget as well. And there's some additional money that MTC kind of moved some other money around, and they were able to get us almost 2 million there. So that helped quite a bit with balancing the budget.
What did they give us 2 million for?
For operating. Just operating.
Found some like.
They took it from some other program they had. They had some federal money, but they couldn't give us the federal money because of the rules. So they swapped the federal money for STA, and they're giving us extra STA money. They're giving someone else the federal, but what they've been trying to do the last few years is find funding to help all the operators replace their lost fare box revenues. Our TDA, our STA are headed back up because they're tax based to pre-COVID levels. Our RM2 money, which is bridge toll, not so much because people are crossing the bridge. But the fare boxes are still low. I mean, ours have gone up this year and we expect them to continue going up next year, but they probably won't hit pre-COVID levels for quite a while. So MTC has been trying to find money. And then what that enables us to do is to put some additional money in reserves that we could then use next year if we needed to, when they aren't giving us the extra money. It sounds like from what they're saying will be the last year of extra money. So.
I think that's happening in a lot of agencies where you had money because people were trying to keep afloat, but then that money will no longer be there.
Exactly. And luckily LAVTA actually had quite a bit of reserves prior to COVID because we knew we had projects coming up like Atlantis that we were going to need that money. So if we had to, we could have taken money out of reserves, but thankfully we don't need to. So now we have the money for other projects.
Yep.
Okay. Any questions?
No questions. I'm surprised our paratransit number is down.
The actual cost,
I'd say because I thought,
yes, it's the budget number that's down because the former director of operations innovation, he budgeted really high. Like he was expecting it to be, I think it was like $87 a trip or something like that, and it's not that high.
It's like 50 something, right?
How do you know off the top of your
I
head?
think it's 80.
Right now,
Yeah.
around 60.
Around 60, yeah. So, we didn't have a contract agreed on, so he just went high to be on the safe side. I don't think he intended to go quite that high, but that's all right, rather than the other way. But we are expecting our ridership on paratransit to continue to increase next year.
Yeah.
As you know, people are more comfortable going out. It's definitely seeing an increase. It's not at 100%. It's at 60%,
65 right now.
65%.
It's growing.
So yeah, so we actually budgeted for almost 100 for next year.
And our Go Tri-Valley ridership has gone up. So our Uber Lyft partnership, so we are seeing better usage of that program as well, particularly this last month. So we're making sure we have a healthy budget for that program.
KIQ tells me about it all the time.
So does Facebook.
Did you have any, I guess,
Okay. Then we need a motion on this, right?
Yes, we would, we are asking that the committee forward it to the board of directors for approval.
I will move staff recommendation.
I'll second.
Okay, and roll call?
Any public?
And we have no public comment still. Director Hernandez.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Right, Testa.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. Then we are on item 10, preview of upcoming committee agenda items.
Either one of us. So in May, we will have our treasurer's report, of course, and we are presently in the middle, well, almost to the end of a salary study and organizational review that we do every year. So we should have that back shortly. And then in June, we will have our legal contract comes up, and the treasurer's report. July, treasurer's report again. There may be some FTA funding resolutions. And pretty much all of the other stuff we have scheduled as minutes and treasurer's report. There will probably be some funding resolutions coming up over the summer. But I couldn't tell you what they are right now. So as soon as we're asked for them, I will be getting those resolutions to this committee.
Now that we're talking about funding, when was the last time the board got any increase in their stipends?
I'm gonna say Janet Lockhart was on the board.
What?
So I'm thinking it was like a decade. Stephen,
Janet Lockhart,
Krasowski from Pleasanton.
our former
Mayor.
second woman mayor.
And I'm trying to think who was from Livermore back then, but that tells you about how long ago it was. Casey Hildebrand, I think, was about to join.
Oh, that was many years.
That's what I'm saying. It's been like a decade.
Yeah, it's been at least a year, just because we talked about it at Stop Waste and stuff. So I just think it's good for, but for other, just to kind of keep that in mind as well.
Okay.
I know that a lot of the boards are doing it.
Okay.
Stop Waste did, LAFCO did,
Okay.
so.
We can reach out and see what
Yeah,
everyone's
see what they-
raising it
yeah.
to, see kind of what the
Yeah.
trend is.
Does that take board action to change
Of
that?
course it does.
Oh.
Yeah. Right?
Okay, okay. Yep, okay.
Yeah, so we can look into it
Got
and
it.
bring it back as
Got it.
as a future agenda item.
Okay, I'll add that in.
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
10 years is a long time.
At least 10 years. I think I might have been fairly new back when it happened.
Okay, so then if we're completed, matters initiated, we kind of created a matters initiated right there, right?
Yeah.
Any other matters initiated? Okay, then item 12, next meeting scheduled for May 23rd, 2023. And I think we're adjourned, right? Great. We're
Thank
adjourned.
you. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, where's the gavel?
We only use it in the board meetings.